Welcome to the Beefy Bets segment. We're going to be going over our predictions and favorite bets of the big-time UFC 299 card coming up in Miami. We got title fights, and man, last week my picks went 8 for 9. I cashed a straight and a three-legger. We also gave out a prop. I didn't personally bet it, but we gave it out in a cash. So we gave out 4 winning bets last week. My picks were 89% last week, and I mean, I honestly feel more confident in my picks this week than I did last week. You know, unpredictable sport, but I think that there's more precedent being set and more. I don't know. I just think that the matchups lean to more clear picks, in my opinion, on 299, man. But we're gonna go over every single fight on the card and give you a pick. We have a rating system where 1 star is like, I'm probably not going to bet it, but if you're gun to my head, I have to pick. I'm giving you a pick. Like, pick it on verdict, probably don't put money on it type of pick. 2 star is like worth betting, but like I wouldn't consider it a lock. I bet 2 stars in cash, 2 stars all the time. 3 stars is like lock of the week, take it to the bank. And we try to like assemble our parlays based off 3 stars. And if there's something that we're not going to bet at all, or I wouldn't bet, we'll tell you. But I still give out a pick even on ones that I don't bet on. Just because like
just a note to add to what we cashed 6 bets. We had 6 different bets that all hit. But 4 of them parlay, 1's a prop, 1 is an underdog. But 6 different bets. So you could have parlayed all 6, could have done all 6 as straights, whatever you guys want. We hit 6 bets, we gave out 6 bets.
True. It is up to your discretion how you assemble those parlays or bet them as straights. But yeah, every week we try to give out a dog of the week, a prop of the week, and a parlay of the week. So let's dive into it, bro. I'll lead it off. I like O'Malley over Vera. Now, here's the thing. Everything in my body is telling me 2-star bet, right? Like, I feel pretty confident about it. However, I don't want to speak out of both sides of my neck, because I do think that Cheeto won the first fight fair and square. I don't subscribe to the Sugar State Athletic Commission. I don't subscribe. If you kick a guy's leg and his leg gets injured, do that as fluky or doesn't count or Sugar State Athletic Commission. I think Cheeto won the first fight. Now, do I think that's going to happen again? I don't. But it's a 1-star for me. Likely won't bet it only because there's other value that I like more and other fights I feel more strongly about. I have a feeling you like O'Malley more than I do from a better perspective.
I got a 3-star pick on this fight, and it's O'Malley by decision. Has to be by decision, not just him to win. Him to win minus 295, that is not worth it. If you watch the tape on the first fight, I've watched it maybe 5 times now. He's beating Cheeto at every single thing in the fight until his leg gets kicked. And my only question is, can Cheeto do that again? Have I seen him do that to any other opponent in his entire career? No and no. So, this is an easy O'Malley by decision. Why decision, you might ask? Cheeto has never been finished in his entire career, and he's fought killers. So, O'Malley's not the guy that's going to finish him.
You know what, though? Because I don't really have another one off the top of my head. I think that's going to be our prop of the week. O'Malley by decision. That
plus 140.
As a plus 140. I think that's going to be our prop of the week. I'm down with that. Because, yeah, if you are going to bet him, you could argue most of O'Malley's wins are by finish, but you're right. Cheeto doesn't get finished, and O'Malley has gotten better at checking leg kicks. Remember the Pedro Munoz fight? He was checking the fuck out of those leg kicks.
And I mean, I wonder if Cheeto could hit precisely on that nerve again. I just don't think. I mean, especially with O'Malley being so cautious of that not happening.
Well, and if you think about it too, Cheeto gives away the first round in every fight. So
Always.
If you want to say by decision, I mean, that's like you're already starting the fight 1 round up on the scorecards, basically.
Bro, also, if you break down their first fight before that leg kick hits, O'Malley Cheeto can't find him. He just cannot find him. He finally hits that leg kick, and then O'Malley can't move and stops moving and goes up against the fence, and he loses within a minute from that point. But Cheeto couldn't find him until he hit that leg kick.
And if you think about it, Cheeto hasn't really performed well since then. Like even the Pedro Munoz fight
And he
was it out.
I mean, he got 5-0'd by Sandhagen, which it looks like a split on his record. That's the worst judging performance of all time. That's fake news.
Yeah.
He lost all 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And I just see O'Malley as a guy that's very similar to Sandhagen in the striking department. Long, knows how to keep the guy at the end of his jab. Good movement.
Fair. So that's going to be our prop of the week. Money line wise, it's a 1-star, but prop of the week, if you're going to bet it, you might as well bet it by decision, get some value there. Let's keep it pushing to this co-main. Poirier BSD, man.
Oof. I'm so pumped for this.
Me too. From a fan perspective, this is amazing. And I got to be honest, this is my dog of the week.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. This not a 3-star, but a 2-star. I mean, it's Dustin Poirier at plus 180. What are we talking about? In Miami.
Oh, it's moved up. Wow. When I looked it up, it was plus 150. Wow, that's interesting. The only pause for cause here, Dr. Seuss moment there, but only pause for cause there is the fucking age rule, bro. He's 35. We just saw what happened to Volk. He's coming off a knockout just like Volk did. He's fighting a guy that can knock people out. That's why this is not going to be on a parlay. This is dog of the week straight bet. I am picking Poirier, trusting my power rankings here. I don't think getting a knockout over Matt Favola means that you can just go do whatever you want to Dustin Poirier. But Poirier is coming off a head kick knockout, fighting a guy coming off a head kick knockout win. Now, you could argue, fool me once, shame on you type of deal. You know what I mean? He, in theory, won't get head kicked twice in a row with the same kick. I'm picking Poirier. I have it 1-star. But the value makes it worth a dog straight pick. To me, getting the plus money on Poirier makes it worth the straight bet for me. I do have pause for cause, though, man. The age and the method of loss / method of victory for BSD. Also, BSD, I don't believe has ever been in a 5-round fight. I think that favors Poirier. Obviously, the big lights. Poirier's been there, done that. Pay-per-view cards a million times. St. Denis, I think, has been fighting the Apex a lot and shit.
St. Denis, also, this will be his 4th fight in 10 months. And it'll be Poirier's 2nd fight in 10 months.
We're coming off the head kick knockout. What was that, 3 months ago? This is
it's 10 months.
It's been that long since Gagey?
July, last year. Start of it.
Fair. He gave his brain a little time to rest, but the similarities between
little time, 8.5 months.
I know, which makes me feel better. I'm picking Poirier. Poirier.
I was like, I honestly, he's not doing the Volk thing, and I also do not think BSD is Topuria. Topuria is about to reign dominant in that division for 4 or 5 years. I love BSD, but he is on the level with Poirier. Topuria is not that he's like Volk is that level too, but Volk coming off the knockout 4 months later versus 8.5, big difference.
I didn't realize that it had been 8.5. That definitely makes me feel better. So Poirier, 180, dog of the week, straight bet, lock it in. Now Holland versus Michael Venom Page, bro. This is actually probably going to be a parlay bet builder for me.
Ooh,
really? See, I feel.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it, bro. Michael Venom Page, 38 years old, bro. Out of Bellator, and he was like in close fights in Bellator, and not that active in Bellator. Also coming off the Mike Perry bare knuckle loss, which you can choose to factor that in or not. It's a different sport. He had never competed under that rule set before. Mike Perry is debatably the best in the world at that rule set. But he is coming up a loss to Mike Perry and bare knuckle. Close fights in Bellator, which I'm not a Bellator guy. I think it is a very inferior promotion.
I agree.
He's 38 years old. Kevin Holland can kind of dick around a little bit, but Kevin Holland's much younger. Type-wise, they match up perfectly. They're like basically same body type. Both strikers. Obviously, Kevin Holland has the jiu-jitsu advantage. I love Kevin Holland. I mean, I'm going 2-star, not 3-star, But when I looked it up, Kevin Holland was minus 135. That's
He,
juice the fuck out of your parlay
yeah.
from a value perspective.
What I worry about though with this kind of a fight is like Kevin Holland was also even younger than Wonder Boy by like a lot, and Wonder Boy equally talented striker as Michael Page in my opinion.
Yeah, but we also agree that like he fucked that off with the little gentleman's agreement bullshit. Like,
you don't think he's gonna do that again? I don't trust Kevin Holland as far as I can throw him with that kind of shit.
I do. I don't think he'll do that same. I don't think he's a fucking idiot. Like, he would be a fucking idiot to do that, not once but twice. One time, have some fun. It's Wonder Boy, whatever. I don't think he has the same respect for Michael Venom Page that he did from Wonder Boy.
That's probably true.
I like Kevin Holland, and he needs this win. Like, this is like, I don't want to say make or break moment, but if he loses this one, you think he's still on main cards of pay-per-views? Hell no. Kevin Holland needs this win. The UFC kind of did him a favor, I think, with this matchup. It's a huge name, 38 years old.
Let's see how the money's moved as well. And I just want to see opening lines here. Sometimes that is a bit more indicative. It's kind of, I guess the bookmakers have it pretty much nailed. Oh, God. Why is DraftKings always so wild? Are people just that stupid?
I think DraftKings does have a stupider, like, betting, like,
because they opened it at
populace.
They opened it at plus 150 for Michael Venom Page, and he's all the way down to plus 110 on their site. So, like...
Yeah, I think they have a more uneducated betting. I think about the sharps. The sharps aren't using draft.
No, I agree with you.
The sharps are going down to the casinos in Vegas.
What I'm saying is I almost think the opposite of whatever happens on DraftKings is, like, how I actually feel. Now, at Caesars, Holland opened minus 150 and is now minus 125.
So money is coming in on Page, but that's fine by me. I'm sticking. I like that value. I love that value. But I mean, so what's your official pick?
How many?
You're riding with me here?
How many stars do you have on it?
2 stars. So, like, I feel more confident about this than I do Poirier or Mount. I really do.
Okay. All right. We'll put it on the parlay in that case. 2 stars. Kevin Holland minus 135. Parlay
nominee. We may chisel it down to see if there's something we like more. I do have a couple 3 stars on here coming up. So, all right, man. This next one I am dying to get your opinion on because I feel a way. But check this out. So Burns, Jack Della Maddalena. So actually it's cool. On X, I actually was able to directly talk with Sadyku Kakramanov. He replied to me. He was doing an Ask Me Anything. And I messaged him from the Beefy Boys X account, and I said Burns or JDM. Kakramanov is picking JDM. He's a pretty good sports gambler. He bets on the UFC. He's pretty public with his picks and everything.
He cornered the
pretty good track record. He did. And then all the betting accounts that I follow on X, everybody's picking JDM. Bro, I like Burns, bro. I like Burns.
Me too.
You do? Okay. I've been dying to
I've hated myself for liking Burns at plus 135. But, dude, like, if this is the Burns that fought Chimaev, he's going to beat JDM.
That's where I was going. Now, JDM and Chimaev's kind of styles are very different, right? You know what I mean? So it is kind of not apples to apples.
How do you feel about the 10-year age gap?
That's a factor, but also the grappling. Nobody's talking. People are acting like this is a kickboxing match. The grappling gap is so massive. Like, JDM's grappling is kind of ass, and Burns is like a legendary, like, Brazilian
2-time ADCC champ.
Yeah, like, that counts for something. He's no slouch on the hands.
No, he has crazy power. He dropped Usman.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And like. So, like, I think if this was like a point fighting, like, striking match, yeah, give me JDM. But that is the exact opposite of how Burns fights. He makes it a fight. You want to talk about, we're talking about Basharat and Zahabi. Burns makes it a fucking fight every time. He did it with Usman. He did it with Chimaev. I don't think he's going to sit on the outside and just get picked apart by JDM. I don't see it going down like that.
He's also really honest. Did you see his video where he talked about Topuria coming to train at ATT? and how he was just literally knocking out dudes at ATT with boxing gloves on. And he was like, I knew I was
I
going to bet
saw
on
the
him.
headline. I didn't see the video, but I saw the headline. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he essentially was like, I knew Tapari was going to beat him because he was like, that level of power in boxing gloves is crazy at that weight. So, like, I think Burns sees things. Like, I think he's a smart, cerebral fighter as well.
And let's go through pull up JDM's Tapology real quick. It's kind of escaping mine.
Oh, I got it.
Just
right
go
here.
to like his last like 4 fights and read them off for me.
Kevin Holland split. Basel
And Kevin Holland was
split. Randy Brown round 1 sub. Danny Roberts KO.
I mean, I love Burns, right? Doesn't that just make you love Burns?
I mean, aside from Kevin Holland in a split win, like, what of those opponents is even close to Gilbert Burns?
Well, and Kevin Holland, if I do remember correctly, was able to take him down, right?
Yeah.
And had some success in the ground game.
Well, yeah, and not to mention that Burns hasn't fought for 10 months. He lost that decision to Muhammad and got beat up pretty bad. But before that, Sub-Magny beat Masvidal, fought Chimaev in that war, and beat Stephen Thompson. Like, I feel like that caliber of opponents in the last 3 years is way better than JDM's. Way better.
How old is Burns?
37.
That's the tough part, bro. That's the only
Welterweight,
thing for pause. Only cause for
welterweight,
pause.
so you kind of get a little play in there.
Yeah, I don't know if you get 2 or 3 years to play, though.
If it was 205, you'd feel a lot
Burns.
better.
I'm going Burns, but I got to say, I like Poirier more if we're talking dog of the week.
Me too.
And I'm going Burns as a 1-star. Probably a no bet.
Yeah,
Gonna pick him on verdict.
Yes.
Gonna pick him on verdict, but the thing is, bro, if it wasn't for the outside noise, if it wasn't for everybody picking JDM, I may have this as a 2-star. But between all of the experts picking JDM and the age gap, brings it down from a 2-star to a 1-star. My knee-jerk reaction is that this is a 2-star.
This is one
my
where
power rankings point to this as a 2-star.
This is one where I might get greedy with myself and do a little Poirier Holland Burns, just little $5 on a little 3-legger because that's going to be juiced out.
It is going to be juiced out. It is for sure. Now, bro, this next fight, Yan versus Yadong. First off, cannot wait for it. This may end up being the best fight on the whole card from like a watchability, like banger war. Like this fight's gonna be fucking sweet. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty bullish on Yan. I thought I was gonna be on the minority there.
Okay.
Everybody agrees. Everybody's picking Peter Yan.
Good. They should. He's 31. The age thing isn't even apparent for him yet. He's fought Valishvili, Sterling twice, Sandhagen, and O'Malley. And it's like...
And beat O'Malley. Fuck. And so this is something else I learned from
No. He didn't.
I thought you thought that was a robbery along with me.
No.
I scored that for Yan. And Billy Walters was saying that like he does the same thing. Like if there's screwy little lucky things, he factors it into his handicapping.
Super fair.
So it's my handicap. It's my power rankings. I can only go off what I truly think to bet with my money. I think he beat O'Malley. I factor that in my handicapping. That being said, like I like him over Song Yadong a lot. You know, Song Yadong. Dong, really talented guy.
Let me give you my number one differential as to why I love Peter Yan here and why the O'Malley fight super applicable, because that fight, as much as I'm saying that O'Malley won, it's razor thin. That's a razor thin fight. That being said, Song Yadong, not as tall, doesn't have the reach that O'Malley has. Peter Yan's going to be in his pocket, which is where he succeeds. Minus 120. Give it to me.
Yadong way more hittable too, right?
Oh,
like way more hittable.
Maybe more durable, but Peter Yan isn't going to stop, and it's a 3-round fight. I love Peter Yan in this. Like, he is a straight-up boxer. Song Yadong's going to want to try to box with him, and Peter Yan's going to win that.
So, I mean, this is a parlay nominee. When I looked, it was minus 142. What's the number at now?
Minus 120.
It's even better. So that's a parlay juicer right there, straight up Jamba juicer. I feel good about it. Add it to the parlay nominees. We'll chisel it down, but I think it's worth consideration. That's some value there. I like Jan a lot. I feel pretty confident in it.
I just think
Now,
minus 120 is crazy, man. Like, that should be a minus 165 to minus 190, in my opinion. Getting him at minus 120, you
yeah,
almost have to bet it.
I honestly agree with that. I agree with that for sure. He said age isn't too much of a factor. Yeah,
Style
the best
style
of the best.
matches up for him. Reach is literally the same reach, so it's not a disadvantage, which he normally has.
And so Yadong got busted up by Sandhagen bad.
Yeah.
Doctor stoppage. Like,
And Peter Yan didn't get busted up like that by Sandhagen. That was a close ass fight. So
see, I think Song Yadong's offense is great. His striking defense leaves a little bit to be desired.
and Peter Yan has merciless offense.
His defense too. Like Yan wasn't finished by O'Malley, wasn't finished by Sandhagen. Like good defense.
Yeah, super good defense.
So
I guess that rounds out the main card, but let's keep it pushing to the prelims.
Up next, I'm super intrigued.
I'm going to grab a beer, but
me too. I'm gonna grab a beer.
We'll take a quick pause for the prelims. Right back. I'll put a little rotation. Up next, man, we're actually about to get. It's a pick'em. It's minus 115, minus 105, minus 105 for Jailton. We can get almost even money on Almeida.
I know, and Michael, so our boy Michael, we heard us talk about him earlier, third Beefy boy. He said he laid, in his own words, a pretty sizable bet on Almeida. And he loves Almeida.
And he bets sizable amounts. For people at home that are wondering, he bets like an actual, the Vegas gambler you want to follow.
Yeah, we're doing little Yanni sprinkles. But like, and he's a good sports bettor too. He's in the green over the past multiple years. He's a good sports bettor.
Very nice Excel sheet. Credit to Michael.
I factor that in. But that being said, bro, and so I am picking Almeida here. And I even have him as a 2-star in my notes. I'm just kind of second-guessing myself here because what's Almeida's path to victory? Get on top, wrestle, grapple. He's also weighs like 230 pounds. He's taking on a 265-pound, I believe, All-American wrestler, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Blades is All-American.
D2, but we'll count it. Like, he's still elite.
So, like, what does that look like? What is the 230-pound Brazilian guy taking on the 265-pound American wrestler when your path to victory is on the ground? I picked him. I like the pick from my power rankings perspective, from a trajectory, from youth. Dalton's an absolute stud. He's a problem. But just what does that look like in your mind's eye, in your little mental 2K simulator? What does that look like?
It looks just like this. Neither guy is getting any sort of takedowns, so it's a lot of standing clinch and a lot of wrestling on the fence. And whoever has better striking in the in-betweens and on the fence is going to win this fight. And that's probably Jailton.
Yeah.
That's not really a Blades thing.
Worrying.
Blades loves that single leg, that distance in the middle, single leg snatch, getting the takedown, getting on top, ground and pounding. I don't think Jailton's going to be held down like that as well. Even though the weight, he is so explosive. And, like, I'll just go from, like, my own, heavyweight in wrestling is that same weight. I wrestled at 250, but could wrestle guys that were 275. Honestly, man, 25 pounds more, I never noticed whenever I was on bottom.
Especially if you're a physical freak like Jailton.
That's what I'm saying.
There's not any fat on his body. He's an absolute unit.
Right. Like, it's like he's lighter than Curtis Blades. Why? Because he doesn't have the fat? Like, that fat's not doing a whole lot, I don't think, in a fight at least.
We pull up Blades' Tapology, too, because he's stacking L's, too. That has to factor
in. Got it right here. Well, he has a win over Aspinall, but... No, I'm just kidding. I mean, he does, but that's a Fugaze fake win. He has the loss to Pavlovich, gets KO'd. Brutal, hate to see it, but we all knew nuclear white polar bear was coming through.
But also, like, doesn't really, like, tell us much about how the Almeida fight's going to go. You know what I'm saying? Totally different matchup.
Yeah, has the KO loss to Lewis in 21, then rebounds with, that was a horrible KO, then rebounds with the win over Rosenstruik decision, then beats Dawkins by KO, and then gets the win over Aspinall. Like, I haven't learned a lot about Blades since probably 2020.
Yeah, and he's been inactive. Let me see real quick. In my personal power rankings, I got Jailton Almeida at 4 and Curtis Blades at 8. So, like, I guess I just need to trust my homies and trust my power rankings. I am getting this, like, weird kind of gut feeling. But all research, I mean, all metrics, Daubers up, Daubers down. I mean, it all points to Almeida, and that is great value. have this kind of like nervousness. Like I probably won't put it on the parlay, to be honest. I think there's other fights I feel better about. If you want to bet it as a straight, maybe.
So let me put it this way to you too. This feels a lot to me like Marab and Cejudo was, where it's like both guys are crazy good wrestlers, and while Curtis Blades is the better wrestler, it's still MMA, and I still think that might lead to Curtis or to Almeida having a little more success in that grappling matchup. And so then from there as well, it's like the higher pace is probably going to win out, and Almeida does have a crazy pace.
How old is Blades?
33. He's not that old, especially at heavyweight.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep it pushing. Picking Blades, I probably won't put him on my parlay if I'm being honest. I have a bad feeling about it.
We're gonna put.
I honestly do.
We're gonna put no bet Blades / Almeida.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, I
no
have a weird
way.
feeling.
And that honestly, for people at home, that's one that if you do feel strongly about, you should bet it because it is even money. It's a pick 'em. Like those are the ones where you actually, if you feel like you have the edge here, if you're Billy Walters, if your spread doesn't match, honestly, drop us a comment and let us know. Like that'd be really cool. But also, that is the time to go for it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Up next, we got Caitlin Shakarian, who I guess is going by Caitlin Sermonara now. I don't know if she got married or
married her coach, bruh.
That kind of threw me off when I saw the Sermonara. I was like, what's going on here? But it's Shakarian.
Dude, the marrying your coach thing just makes me laugh so hard every time I think about Joey Diaz and them talking about how female fighters struggle to develop because coaches just be trying to hook up with them.
Or Sean Strickland always talks about it. Can anybody coach a female without falling into their vagina? Like, is it possible? And so taking on Macy Barber, and this is the definition of a no bet for me because technically in my power rankings I got Sermonara at 6 and Barber at 7. So like I trust my power rankings on verdict. I'll pick Sermonara. Macy Barber's younger, trending upwards. Sermonara's 35. In reality, it's probably, and there's another thing too. Since I have them right next to each other, I think it would be dumb to not take the plus money. So I'm not giving this out as a dog of the week, but I did pick it because gun to my head, I got to pick two people right next to each other in my power rankings. You're giving me plus 160 on one of them. Value Billy Walters wise, you got to take the plus 160 or whatever it is currently. In reality, Barber's probably more likely to win it. I just like the values on the Sermonara side. I don't know. How do you feel about this? I'm not bullish.
Okay, I think we have to go with a dynamic scaling of power rankings with applied analytics. So what I mean is, for women specifically, being really good at a later age is way harder. Like you'll never see a woman at 40 that's just dominating everyone. Whereas at heavyweight and men, you can see that. Also, Macy Barber is 8 years younger and is kind of starting to find her stride as a more mixed martial artist. And then also, Sermonara missed weight the last time she was out, which is a bad sign for her, compiled with the age. So I'm just saying the analytics and all that, I actually have the line almost exactly where it is. Like I would think maybe Barber for me is a minus 180, but for me it's a no bet because I think Vegas has it right on the head.
Yeah, definitely a no bet because, like I said, my technical pick is Sermonara, but the plus 160 or whatever is kind of juicy. But yeah, the odds. There's a reason that money line exists. I'll put it that way. I'm not going to try to be the smartest guy in the room on that one. Keep it pushing, bro, because I can't believe this is the fight that nobody's talking about. But like, if this was on any other card besides 299 or 300, this might be like a co-main. I mean, seriously. You got Gamrot Dos Anjos.
This fight would be considered too good for a fight night main event. Like they would think they wouldn't do that because they'd be like, we're losing money not putting them on a pay-per-view.
Now that being said, first 3-star of the fucking show. Give me Gamrot.
Minus 425. If we're gonna do an extended
when I looked it up, it was at minus 375, so it's still doable on a 3 or 4 record.
Okay.
It's getting out of reach there. What do you think? But by decision might be some value, but I don't know if I like that more than O'Malley by decision.
See, but I wonder about do you think by decision would be the way that goes?
I think so, mainly because Gamrot has a snoozy style. Does Gamrot have really any finishes, or does he get getting finishes? When I think of Gamrot, I think of snooze fest.
No, I mean he's super high activity. I mean he just finished Fazeev with a KO. He has the split decision
That's
win over
right.
Turner,
That's right.
which you could say what either way. But then yeah, decision win over Sarukian, decision loss to Dariush, and then a KO win over Diego Ferreira. So it's like when he fights, fuck, I don't know, man. Honestly, like Gamrot's
But when he fights kind of wrestlers like Dos Anjos, I think that lends itself to like a decision. I think it's going to be like a
KO's.
grappling heavy fight.
Let's see. Yeah, when he's okay. So is the wrestlers he's fought here. I mean, you could argue Dariush. I would say Sarukian and Scott Holtzman. Holtzman being the lowest. Oh, and Kudrtladze. He has a split decision loss to Kudrtladze in his debut. That's probably a good comparison to how this fight looks.
And aren't you just kind of out on Dos Anjos? I mean, the age, the
I mean,
bouncing up and
yeah.
down weight classes. I mean,
Also, you're telling me a guy that's 32 and 15, that's 10 years older, or 7 years older than a guy that's 23 and 2, probably going to ride with the 23 and 2 guy.
yeah, you're right. This is value wise, money line wise, probably not worth it unless you're getting into like 5, 6, 7 legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, which we try to avoid those here on the Beefy Boys breakdown. But I mean, so that being said, not too much reason to spend much more time on it. But first 3 stars so far. I mean, I know I'm not going out on a limb there, but that's a 3-star all day, right?
Oh, yeah. Now, the next fight I actually find extremely interesting.
Really? Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it because I mean, I feel decently confident. I got a 2-star on Phillips, but I'm pretty high on Phillips, and I've always kind of hated Pedro Munoz. So, but I'm trying to not let that bias. That's purely based off power rankings, not like fanhood. That is with my brain, not my heart. It just so happens to align with my heart because Pedro Munoz is one of my least favorite fighters on the roster. Phillips, kind of high on. Like I think Phillips is kind of underrated.
It's just tough for Munoz when I look at his record because, like, decision loss to Jose Aldo, decision loss to Dominic Cruz. It's the Sean O'Malley bullshit fight he was definitely going to lose. But then he comes back and he beats Chris Gutierrez, and then he loses to Cheeto in his last fight out. And so I just feel like Munoz definitely fighting the higher competition, but Kyler Phillips has a win over Song
Looks
Yadong.
great when he does.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Kyler Phillips has the ability to win this fight and has all the metrics and stats and has a 7-inch reach and a 9-year age gap. So I have 2 stars.
Pedro Munoz, 37 years old, 5'6".
I have 2 stars here on Kyler Phillips, and I actually love it as a parlay candidate too at -250.
Me too. All right, we're lockstep. That's actually maybe our leading parlay candidate because that's the one we both feel like strongest about out of all our parlay candidates. We're like lockstep. Like,
Yeah, and it just makes sense. Like I think that if you apply advanced metrics and you want to go by those, if you want to go by honestly the way the way the wins and losses are aging, yeah, I think it's all pointing towards Kyler Phillips.
me too. We're lockstep there. I'm glad that one's probably like officially on the parlay. It sounds like. Now let's keep it pushing here. Lins versus Kudalaba. I like Lins only by 1 star, mainly because of age. Resume wise, I like Lins like a lot, but he is like 38 years old, I think. I mean, Kudalaba is no world beater, but I like Lins 1 star. When I was looking it up, this didn't have a number by it. What's this money line at?
Still doesn't. It's not listed on
What? Isn't that
ESPN
weird?
or yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, let's just try to guess a line. That's probably a better. We should know, right?
I mean, I have it as a 1 star, so I'm going like what -140, like something like that. Like I mean,
For who?
for Lens. Like I said, I'm picking Lens 1 star, not uber confident, mainly just because of age. So if I'm saying 1 star,
Wait,
like
why
by
you?
my own,
Wait, what? Lens is 8 years older.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
that
I see.
presents it.
I
I
see. I
like
see.
Lens a lot, but like the age is keeping it at a 1 star. I guess
I
that's how I
see.
should
I
word
see.
that.
I see. I see. I
Like
see.
like resume wise and shit. Like I like Lens to win the fight, but and Kudalaba's had a lot of L's.
I thought
But
Kudalaba would probably be in this +115, maybe +100.
we're saying the same thing basically. Like
Yeah,
like coin flip, like
yeah. But
minus one twenty. Yeah.
Lens has a slight lean, but I would
Yeah.
probably take Kudalaba honestly.
But I think that's painting the picture of a no bet, right?
Yeah, and not even available odds, so it'd be irresponsible to include it. We'll keep it
Yeah.
pushing.
Yeah,
Next
yeah,
fight,
for sure.
actually, so much fun, man. Like this could be one of those ones where Dana White's talking about like, hey, the fight you didn't know about, or what the fuck that is.
No.
Michelle Pereira and Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, that it's gonna be a banger. Like I like the under if I gotta bet anything here.
See, I feel bullish about my pick, bro. I'm going Pereira 3 stars. Oleksiejczuk has a chin and he has power, and that's about it. Like Pereira is way faster. And we think about Pereira as like an older guy. He's not old at all. He's a freak show athlete, which Oleksiejczuk is not at all. Pereira, I love Pereira. I'm going 3-star lock of the week, parlay builder. Like,
I'm riding it.
I'm bullish on Pereira.
I'm riding it. Just looking over opponents and how Oleksiejczuk performs when he fights a guy that's, in my opinion, top 20. He loses every time. And Michelle Pereira is like right around 20 for me. So I'll take Pereira at the 3-star.
Where he's at. All right, so yeah, I have him at 19 right now.
Exactly
Pereira.
Right.
I have Oleksiejczuk all the way down at 33.
You got to take minus 155.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm setting my own money line on this, Billy Walters style, like I have Pereira at like minus 300. Like seriously. So this is for sure parlay like lock.
Perfect. We'll keep it pushing then. We got 3 more fights still. I actually love this fight for the parlay. This next one. And now it's getting to the point where it might not be worth it. It's teetering. But Robelis to Spain, making his debut. 4-0, I know. Minus 320 against Josh Parisian, though. It's a double. It's a mega Parisian fade.
Well, I was about to say, this is almost like Jamie Pickett auto fade, right? Like, you just got to fade Parisian. 6'7", world-class kickboxer.
Who has an 8-inch reach advantage.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Parisian, we've seen that movie before. I mean, he struggled against lower-end prospects than this, right?
Yes.
So when I looked, it was minus 410. What's it ballooned to?
It's only minus 320 right now.
Oh, it's going the other way?
Yeah.
Oh! Bro, if we get anything with the 3, it's in the parlay. Even if that requires adding a leg. If we get anything in the 3s.
Yeah, currently, let's see what it is at Caesars. Oh, God. It's not even listed on here, but on the UFC's, or on the ESPN side, it has it listed at minus 320. So that has to be Caesars because that's where they supply their odds.
Well, ESPN has their own sportsbook now, too.
This would be ESPN Bet then. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. But regardless, bro, if we can get – because when I looked, it was in the 4s. So I was like, not really worth it.
Oh, here we go.
Debutante.
Here we go. I found it. Yeah, it's coming towards us. Caesars minus 350 right now. BetMGM minus 300.
Oh, that's parlay. Add it to the parlay, honestly. We're already at a 3-legger. What do we got? We got Pereira, Despain, and Gamrot? Pereira, Despain, and Ayan.
And
right?
Phillips.
And Phillips. Dude, we're building a nice one here.
And Holland's on there, too. We have 5 candidates so far, so we'll have to pick them at the end because we still have 2 more fights to go through. But we have at least enough to make it. Good news, people at home. There will be a parlay this week. We'd make it even if there wasn't one. But we have a solid one. Keeping it pushing. This is a fight totally not worth betting. Total no bet. No. Just because the value is nowhere to be found. Asu Almabayev, minus 550. CJ Vergara, plus 385. Fully would fade Vergara. But Vergara, I guess, could catch him. Is like the one...
Vergara's not trash. I am kind of high on Almabayev, but Vergara's not trash. I'm picking Almabayev 2 stars. Like you said, value-wise, not worth it. When I looked, it was minus 425. I don't know what it's at now, but...
It now is at minus 550.
Yeah. So, no bet, not because we're not confident in the pick, but just because, value-wise, there's way better bets to make.
Vergara having the decision lost to Ode Osborne and then Almabayev finishing Ode in the second round of his debut, it's kind of like MMA math's not helping him there either for Vergara.
No, and Almabayev, was he undefeated?
18-2. Good record.
He's
solid
good.
Record.
Another one of these Kazakh guys. They're fucking killers. We'll keep it pushing here too. Kind of the most inconsequential fight on the card. We got Marina Moroz taking on Joanne Wood. Give me Moroz only at a 1 star. because it's honestly like a who cares 1 star, especially with all the other value that I feel strongly about. I think Moroz wins. Joanne Wood's aging. She's stacking L's, but Moroz is no world beater herself. Minus 205. It's not like juicy enough to make me pull the trigger. I'm going Moroz as a 1 star. I think there's better fights to bet on, but I'm picking Moroz if you want my pick.
Yeah, this is a fight that I'm just gonna watch and enjoy, and with all the rest of the value that we found throughout this card, I would hate to try to bet the first fight and just be in a bad mood. To be honest, about a women's fight that I just couldn't care less about. Like that sounds fucked up, but yeah, just it's a no bet for me purely out of like there's not enough value to be found, and I also don't care about this fight.
Yeah, for sure, man. So our prop of the week is O'Malley by decision. Do you remember what that number was? Was it plus 140?
Yep, so we got O'Malley by decision, plus 140 as our prop of the week. Now, we do have to decide here between Poirier and Gilbert Burns as our dog. I love Poirier a lot more for two reasons. Better value,
the value,
and I like his path to victory more.
And he's actually younger than Burns, right? So if our only concern is age, why would we pick the older guy with worse value?
And
right?
BSD is older than JDM.
Oh, good point. Good point. All right, and then what was that Poirier? What's it at minus or plus 180?
Plus 180 for our dog of the week, yes, sir.
And then we gotta narrow down this parlay. It sounds like it might be a 4-leg week. I like sticking with 3 legs and under, but there's so many we like here.
Let me say it to you this way. We have 5 parlay candidates. We have 2 3-stars, so I think those automatically get on. And then we have 3 2-stars, so maybe we pick 2 of the best 2.
And what are the 3 stars? It's Phillips.
So
who else?
The 3 stars are actually Michelle Pereira minus 155 and Robelis de Spain minus 320.
Pereira. So I gotta say, the Spain was not a 3-star for me. My 3 stars. Yeah, my only 3 stars were Gamrot and Pereira. So Pereira's 1,000% on there. We both really like Jan value wise, especially for making the parlay juicy.
But to not have the value gremlins creep in, like I think that the Despain pick should be 3 stars, not because we're betting on the world-class kickboxer with an 8-inch reach advantage and just, like phenomenal power, but also that Josh Parisian is so bad, man. Like that's an auto fade. And we said that if it's in the 3s, we got to have it on there. So for me, that means
you're right. So, I mean, so it also sounds to me like we're going to end up with a 4-legger then, which is fine. Let's get this bread. Scared money don't make no money.
Oh, yeah, of course. So, and then...
All right, so we got Despain, Pereira locked.
Yep, and now we have to go and choose between Jan minus 120, Kevin Holland at minus 135, and Kyler Phillips at minus 250. I think Phillips should probably get on there as well.
Phillips.
With some security. Now, between Jan and Holland, what are you thinking? I think Jan. You have a better number.
Jan, too.
And I think it's
because we're both in agreement, right?
Yes.
Like, Colin's more controversial. Like
100% agree.
That's our 4-legger, bro. And if you want to crunch that in the parlay calculator, we got Despain, Pereira, Phillips, and Jan. I like that. I feel good about that.
So I just hit it, and it currently is sitting at plus 454.
Gotta love that, man. Gotta love that. Yeah. So prop of the week, O'Malley by decision, plus 140. Dog of the week, Poirier, plus 180. 4-leg parlay with Despain, Pereira, Phillips, and Jan. 454, bro. I don't have a bone to pick with any of that. Like, that's not like a nervous, I'm going to punch this in and hope it hits. Like, that feels like some bets with some knowledge behind it. I mean, anything can happen. MMA is crazy, but feeling good. Feeling pretty good about that.
All right, I have one last question for you, and then we can wrap it up. Let me just tease you up a little bit here. If you were to add...
Okay, here we go, value monster. Let's go.
I understand. Now, if you're to add Kevin Holland here and make it a 5-legger, it becomes plus 865.
Yeah, I mean, might be worth the sprinkle if you add O'Malley in there. I mean, if you want to get crazy, I mean, fuck, if you want to fuck around and throw Almeida on there, If you're getting that far into it, you might as well throw Gamrot on there. Like seriously, I'm not. I swear I'm not even being sarcastic. But if you want to have a let your nuts hang out fucking 8-legger for the sprinkle, seriously.
I mean, if we were just gonna do that 8-legger, just what do we got here? You have O'Malley minus 295. What else you say? Minus 105 for Almeida, and then who was the last guy?
Gamrot at like what was it, minus 420 or some shit.
Yeah, so that gets you plus 3,020. That 8-legger.
But like, there's a path for that to hit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not like stupid. Like,
I'll say this: it's all favorites or pick'ems. You're not picking a dog on that parlay.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like I said, I probably won't do that, but hey, I thought like if I had a bigger bankroll, I would sprinkle that. Like I gotta kind of like stick to like, stick to the game plan, stick to the strategy. I've been trying to be a more measured better lately. But like if you're a Hail Mary big parlay kind of guy, like a good week for one. It's a good week for one.
And I will just say for people at home, if you took that 8-legger and put $2 on it, it pays you 60. Just saying.
Dude, I might have to. I might be a fucking asshole. I might have to be a fucking
I knew I could
asshole,
get
dude.
you with that.
The goblins are eating. The value goblins are eating. But man, I always love talking bets with you. I always love cashing tickets with our viewers. And man, I feel good about this week. Like I said, the 8-legger is not our official Beefy Boys parlay. We're going with the 4-legger. Spain, Vera, Phillips, Yawn, Dog of the Week, Poirier, Prop of the Week, O'Malley by decision. Let's go. Hey, let's put these in early in the week, folks, especially with the Despains of the world. And I mean, that's really, I think, the only one that we're giving you that's going to move. But say, that Gamrot line ain't going to get any smaller. Probably the only one that's going to move a ton. That Despain line's going to go up. Or actually, it's going down. But that puzzles me. The fact that people are betting Parisian is very, very puzzling to me. Like, I guess you're just fading the experience.
I think they're fading the experience, but it's like, are you watching the fighters? And also, are you fading Poeton's experience for being a champion kickboxer? Because that's what you're doing to Spain.
Like, I think it's been obvious. Like, we've been hearing about this Spain guy for months. Like, the UFC wants to feed this guy a win on a big card. They're putting him in a big card.
They've been tweeting about him and stuff. Like, it's very clear he's a prospect, like a highly counted prospect.
For sure, bro. But yeah, fun episode. Let's cash these tickets, y'all. Subscribe so you can get these bets in the following weeks. Check us out on Twitter at Beefy Breakdown and on Instagram at Beefy Boys Breakdown. And man, another fun episode, another fun week, brother. Looking forward to 299's fucking heat.
Can't wait.
Yes, sir.
UFC Vice City. We'll see you guys for 299.